Hello everyone, back to The Bloodline, a brand new podcast series that I will be recording. It's about Anglo-Saxon England. Let's start with some context. What was life like and why? Life was hard even for the rich, and society was separated by class. Can you imagine being a slave in that time? Moving on. Lots of people worked in farms, but some were craftsmen, like blacksmiths creating weapons, basket weavers creating baskets for like fruit. Wouldn't that be fun? All the people lived in wooden shacks, and the poor would even have to share room with their animals. Can you imagine have to sleep on the floor in a wooden box with a screen that blocked out your animals? Another food that they ate. They ate ground grain, baked bread, and beer. You might be asking, why beer? Beer, actually contains alcohol, so because alcohol kills dangerous bacteria. So, when they drank it, they wouldn't get sick. Now getting out of context, now let's get to some actual history. The Romans left England in the 5th century. They left in the 5th century / the year 400 because they had to deal with barbarians in their empire. So they had to leave. A few years after that, the Danish / Vikings came to England. They wanted to conquer England so they would get remembered. But the Anglo-Saxons, which were Germans, they came to England and kicked the Danish out. The Anglo-Saxons saw all the beautiful Roman structures in England, so they kept the Roman tradition alive. The Pope at that time was interested in the Anglo-Saxons because they weren't Christian. So he sent St. Augustine to convert them into Christianity. After 4 centuries of going to war with each other, there were 4 main kingdoms: Wessex, which was at the west side of England; Northumbria, which was north England; East Anglia, which was east; and then Mercia, which was middle. Why were there just 4? The kingdoms didn't really like each other, so they wanted to become a single king. So that's why there were only such a little amount. And at that time, there were Viking invasions because the Anglo-Saxons kicked the Danish out. So there was a whole bunch of Viking invasions, and Wessex survived. After 50 years of warring with one another, there was one kingdom, unified by Wessex, named the Kingdom of England. Lots of years went by, about 50, of different kings, Vikings and Anglo-Saxons. Could you imagine being an Anglo-Saxon and then you marry a Viking? you have a child, and then that kid will become king. And then one king came by, Edward the Confessor. And at that time, there was a whole bunch of nicknames for the kings and queens. Because if they did something special, they would get a nickname. Edward got the Confessor because he was very honest. But he was very important because he was going to be the last Anglo-Saxon king.
This podcast is produced by Create at Morgan. All content is created, written, edited, and produced by students and staff of Morgan County School District RE3. We are located at the Alternative High School Education Campus in Fort Morgan, Colorado. You can find us online at createatmorgan.org, email us at adelayedteacher@gmail.com, or follow us on Twitter at createatmorgan. Thank you for tuning in to our podcasts.